everybody. Welcome to our It's Almost the Weekend edition of Channel 10's PM Magazine. I'm Jane Balzerite here with Scott Moniak.
Thank you.
Playing in the leaves.
I'm throwing leaves all over the place. This Friday evening, we're finishing up our stay at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, where we have had a beautiful week.
And I think we've discovered a new vacation spot. They've got everything: tennis courts, pool, and Frisbee. Our first story tonight is about Frisbee. The ultimate experience is what Frisbee players are calling it. It's a whole new class, and we're going to find out what that's all about. And we're also going to meet a man who practices his mountain climbing skills in the streets of San Francisco. The new hobby he calls buildering.
Buildering?
Yeah.
This guy knows how to climb buildings pretty darn good, too. Coming up in our PM Magazine departments, our Sacramento plant doctor Dan Pratt's going to be discussing a plant that I've never heard of. It's called the Rhaphiollepis. I think that's how you say it. Another Sacramentan, Carrie Nosler, will be along, and Captain Garrett will tell us about a new way to measure your minimum daily requirement of nutrients. And Donna Ray will show us what to expect from a stress test.
Our first story is not about disco Frisbee, but disco and Frisbee do have one thing in common. They both used to be simple before they gave birth to every possible variation you can think of. Take Frisbee. First, Mike Conger and Lorraine Moore showed us how to train dogs to play. Now there's golf Frisbee, guts Frisbee, and what they're calling ultimate Frisbee. And tonight, PM Magazine's Dave Durian shows us just what's so ultimate about ultimate Frisbee.
It's an attachment to the air. It's something you don't... one of man's dreams is to fly, and I think Frisbee is one of the easiest ways to, like, be in the air and actually be flying.
It just releases a lot of inhibitions for me. It's freedom. That's about it.
Used to be back in the early 60s that throwing Fred Morrison's plastic invention well was enough to keep millions of Frisbee fans occupied for hours on end. But then they wanted more. And so, just as man has created 1,001 games using a ball, he has turned the Frisbee, or more affectionately termed the bee, into an implement of competitive sports. And perhaps no Frisbee game has been sweeping the campus scene as quickly as the hybrid of football, basketball, and soccer, known as Ultimate Frisbee. Ultimate was developed in 1968 at a Maplewood, New Jersey high school as an alternative to existing team athletics. While competition is encouraged, it's never at the expense of player respect and just plain fun. But teams like the Carnegie Mellon University Griffins, led by Andrea Cummis, an original Ultimate player, do take their game seriously.
The other side, go straight down and then split out because there's nobody to look for.
So what we're going to do is we're going to throw our middle line in between the 2 and the 3 people. All right. And so right now we have a back, a middle, and the front line. Okay. And don't drop the throws today. Yeah, right. Please.
Their competitors today, the Space Gorillas of New Jersey's Morris County Community College, a slightly more devil-may-care group. But as their team leader, who goes by the nickname Ape, explains, the Space Gorillas are not without their own strategies.
When they're with the wind, we'll play a 2-3-2 zone. But when they're against the wind, we'll go into a 3-3-1 to try and prevent the short passes and close. And they can't go long with the 3-3-1 because of the wind against them. And on offense, we're just going to sharp, crisp passes and kill them.
Sounds like a simple enough game plan. And as with any competitive sport, it's important to get the adrenaline up.
JT, Bruce, Dave, Fred, Ed, Bill, and Rob.
And the limbs loose.
All right, offense, we're playing front, middle, and back. All right, we send 2 guys out front, the rest of the 2 or 3 guys in the back, and then the rest of the people are in the middle.
You may have noticed the absence of a referee. While some Ultimate games do include a ref, Ultimate prides itself on running by the honor system. In fact, this gentleman's game is so loose that such things as the number of players and the size of the field can vary from game to game.
All right, 7-man teams, you got that? Okay. Who's making the call?
And to start the game, instead of a flip of a coin, it's a flip, of course, of the Frisbee.
We'll throw off this side.
The object of the game is to score the most goals by passing the Frisbee among teammates across the opponent's goal line. It's a fast-moving sport with change of possession occurring whenever the Frisbee touches the ground or is intercepted. The basic rule of play, you can't run with the Frisbee. To start the game, the opening throw-off.
It's flowing when you just get out here and you see the disc moving from man to man with no problems. I mean, it's just zip, 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 and it's in. And just to see the freedom involved in that, freedom of flight, the crisp passes, that's where it is. That's what excites people. And to catch that goal, or to jump and catch this lofty pass up here, indescribable, ineffable. That's about it.
It was clear by halftime that the CMU team was in trouble. Already, the Space Gorillas were commanding a healthy lead of 15-2. The second 24-minute half would be a tough battle. While players talk about the grace and beauty of the flying disc, this allegedly non-contact sport does have its occasional hard knocks. And so it goes. Even in this friendly game, ultimately one team must triumph over another. And while today proved triumphant for Ape and his simian sidekicks, it's a long road to the national championships. But the Space Gorillas think that this just could be